the starting months of my business, I remember sitting at my desk one night. I was exhausted, but I was thinking that I had a really good month. I had signed three new clients, I had good money coming in, and I had real momentum. But then I looked at my calendar and there was nothing in the pipeline. So I had a sick feeling in the stomach, and I knew that I had been working in my business, but I wasn't building a business because every single client that month came in because I had efforted, because I had pushed. I was posting heavily, I was following up, I was everywhere to get those clients. And then, as I got busy delivering and life happened, marketing stopped. And so now I was in this period where I had to start all over again. So, if you've ever had that feeling, you have a good month and it's followed by a terrifying blank calendar, then this episode is for you. Because what I had to learn the really hard way is that business can be run in two different ways. The first way depends on constant effort. The moment you slow down, business slows down with you. The second way is building something that works even when you are not pushing every single day. And today I want to talk to you about exactly what creates that difference. So, now this is an ongoing series where I'm breaking down the full framework I use with my clients to help them build sustainable, trust based growth online. So, I've already talked about clarity, value. Last episode, we talked about conversations. Now, this is the episode that bridges it all together. We're going to talk about consistency and credibility because really, this is where you start creating trust loops in your business. So you don't have to be chasing leads anymore, but you're actually creating trust loops, and people come to you ready to buy. Because here's what I know after 18 years in business: trust is not built through one great moment, trust is built through repeated proof over time. So let's get right into it. So, shift one is that the best businesses build trust loops, not lead flows. So, most businesses think about growth in a straight line. They post content, they get leads, they push hard, they get results, they stop pushing, and then results stop. And that linear thinking is exactly why so many brilliant business owners feel like they are on a hamster wheel. I spent years thinking this way too. I thought that if I worked harder, if I just showed up more, if I just did more, it would compound. But effort alone does not compound. Systems that have capacity can compound. Proof compounds. Trust compounds. So here's the shift for you: that businesses that grow sustainably do not operate in straight lines. So, what do I mean by this? Here is what this actually looks like. A client comes in, they get a real result from you. The result creates a proof. That proof builds trust, and that attracts more people, and then the cycle repeats. So, your client results are not just about satisfying your clients, they are a part of your constant trust loop. I'll give you one of my client stories. I have a client, he's a mortgage broker, and he came to me exhausted. He said that this is just not sustainable. The way he was getting his leads was just not working for him. And he said, well, I'm doing everything myself, and the moment I stop, my pipeline dries up. Sounds familiar? So when we started working together, I spent an hour sitting down with him, understanding about his business, getting really clear on who he wants to serve, his thought leadership, and his client stories. Then we started putting out LinkedIn content for him in his brand voice. And occasionally he would send me some voice notes just while he was driving in the car or getting out of a client visit. And we would put that onto the LinkedIn for him. Now we would take that and put that online for him. Exactly his words, but showing the results that he was able to bring for his clients. Within days, people who had been watching him for months, they started reaching out. It was because the proof was visible. So 3 months in, he's telling me, "Oh, I don't have to think about marketing anymore. Now my calendar just gets booked with qualified calls. My clients are already coming in, trusting me, and it's so easy to sign them on." So this is a trust loop. His existing expertise is captured and it's shared consistently, and that generates future opportunities automatically for him because people trust demonstrated outcomes, not just promises. They want to see that proof. So, next shift that I want to talk about is consistency itself. Consistency builds familiarity. That creates trust. Now, I want to tell you something personal here because I think it really matters. When I started my business, I physically could not push hard in my business. My son's father was going through cancer treatment. My son was 7 years old. He needed me present, fully present with him to hold him through that time. And I had a business to run. So I just could not rely on effort spikes. I could not disappear into hustle mode and resurface 3 weeks later with a full pipeline. I just had to build something that worked even when I was not showing up at full capacity. So I was forced to build consistency into systems, not into my energy. I discovered that when I showed up consistently, even imperfectly, even in smaller ways, trust kept building. Someone would see my content. Then again, they would hear me on a podcast. Then they saw a client result. Then they read something that I wrote. And so 6 months later, they were ready and they came to me then. So that's how trust actually works online. It is not through one viral post, it's not through one big launch, it's through repeated presence over time. Now, one of the biggest misconceptions in the online business is that growth comes from intensity. It does not, it's a one time spike. Real sustainable growth comes from consistency. And this is where I see so many talented business owners make the same mistake that I made. They disappear for 3 weeks when life gets busy. Then they come back and then they push hard for 2 weeks and then they disappear again. Because people who were starting to look out for your content, now you've just completely dropped them. Trust compounds slowly and it erodes quickly. So visibility alone is not enough. You have to have visibility with credibility and consistency. Think about visibility with proof. That could be testimonials, client stories, your consistent messaging, repeated presence. That is what creates trust. And trust is what makes someone say yes to you. Now, I don't want you to think about online content as your only way of getting clients. There's so many ways to get inbound leads. So shift 3 is really about creating referrals and a community that is not left to chance. Personally, I used to think that referrals were luck. Maybe somebody would just think about you after you've done all the good work for them and then you would get referrals. So then at that time, I would get referrals, but they were random. They were really unpredictable, and I had no idea who they would come from, why they would come. But then I started to notice something that the referrals I received most consistently came from specific clients. They were the ones that I had created really strong results for, but also, more importantly, they were the ones that I stayed in touch with afterwards. They were genuinely connected to what I was building, not just the service I received. So over time, as I kept evolving my service, they were informed and they naturally wanted to help me. Referrals are not luck. They are the natural output of any business that is delivering real results and is maintaining real relationships. But most businesses, they do not design for this. They deliver the work, they close the project, and then they move on. And then they wonder why referrals feel random. So, if you want to turn your referrals into a consistent pipeline, then certain things need to be true. First of all, your clients really need to get strong, visible results. They need to have a positive, memorable experience. And the relationship needs to stay warm, not just transactional for them. So if you feel that you do amazing work and your clients are not getting that, then definitely reach out to me and I can share some tips on how to help your clients understand the value of the work that you are offering. Because when you're able to really show the transformation that you did for your clients, that result creates proof, and that proof creates credibility. The credibility then leads to more referrals. So that is a self-sustaining lead generation system. It's built from multiple trust layers, all of them reinforcing each other over time. And when that starts to happen, that's when your business stops feeling like constant chasing. Instead, you start feeling stable, you become trusted, you become sustainable and scalable. Now, I remember the morning when I started to feel the shift in my own business. I just woke up, I checked my phone, and there was a message from someone who wanted to book a call with me that day. I had not done any outreach for this person. I had not even known them. They'd just been watching me for months, reading, listening, and they were building trust from a distance. So that is the story that I want you to remember. Compounding trust feels like this. In the beginning, you might not see all the signs, but afterwards, you will have people just coming out to you naturally, out of the blue. You have no idea where they're coming. So consistency and credibility, they are the main pillars of your business. They're not viral hacks, they're not overnight tactics that get shared in Facebook groups. But this is what separates businesses that compound growth from businesses that just restart every month. Because every piece of content that you share, every client result that you make visible, every relationship you maintain, that is adding on to something. So the business that you are building is where trust keeps building even when you are not actively pushing. So I hope you've enjoyed this episode, but if you still have questions about using content to build online authority and deepen your relationships, really getting that volume of inbound leads consistently, then book a 15-minute consult with me. I would love to help you out. The link is going to be in the description below, and I will see you in the next episode.